Just initial takeaways from the couple of scrimmages yesterday.
We've been playing a lot in practice, so just for us, it's more film to review, more things to emphasize. And there were some good things, and there were some bad things. I think we continue to make progress daily, but still have a ways to go, obviously.
How different did last night's scrimmage look than maybe compared to the first one that you guys had in practice?
A little bit more spacing, offensively, a little bit more precision in action, but that should happen after every day. You should be a little bit better at those things.
So it always was to an extent, but has NBA become more about spacing? It seems like that.
Well, I think spacing is just your spacing is going to be determined obviously by your body position, but then by how much people are going to guard you.
Exactly.
And so skill is huge, and that's kind of where the whole skill and speed thing matters, right? And ours has been pretty good thus far. We still have to we got a lot of room for improvement. Let's put it that way.
And like you said, the reserve team is now beating the starting unit 3 times in a row in scrimmages. Is that a product of familiarity?
Yeah, we've never played more than 16 or 20 minutes, so we still have 28 minutes left in the regular game. But I also think that speaks to what that team can do. I mean, Tyler's a guy that started, played a lot in this league already in his 5th year. Jonas has played a lot in this league. Terry and Marcus are clearly playing at a really, really good level, and Jalen's done a good job of being in the mix with those guys and learning those guys. So it's good. I mean, it's good to have that kind of competition. You want it that way. Last year was the same way.
This is James Young's 3rd year with you guys. From his initial training camp to where he's at now, going into this one, where have you seen the greatest areas of growth in his overall game?
Well, just in his, and he didn't cheat. I don't think he made a jump shot last night, but in his catch and shoot accuracy, especially in workouts and practice and drills and everything else. And then when we charted in here with closed doors, he's been very good. Defensively, he's in the right spot, so he's grown a ton in that area, and he's stronger. And I think the biggest thing, and Danny and I were talking about this earlier today, and you watch, he hasn't gotten a chance to play as much as other guys, and that's hard. But we see the progress in here, we see the growth in here, and just keep chipping away.
Brad, with Jalen's athleticism, when he's on the level now where there's so many more guys as athletic as he is, does he have to harness that, or how do you to not think he can get by strictly on athleticism? How do you kind of look at a guy like that when he's...
Well, he's going to, even in the NBA, when it's all said and done, he's going to be a powerful, one of the better athletes around, right? And especially on the drive. He's a hard guy when he hits you to not fall back a little. So, I think that, again, you have to kind of pick your spots with who you're playing against. But certainly his athleticism is a huge plus. And so that's why we've emphasized with him, make the open catch and shoot shot and learn where your drives and cuts are. Because his drives and cuts and, some post-ups are going to be good plays for him.
Going back to your earlier point about skill and spacing, Marcus has really overhauled his jump shot. What have you seen so far with the results there?
Well, we'll see. We don't have any sample size yet, but I think at the end of the day, he has worked on it, and he's put in a lot of time to make it more fluid. And then I think also it comes down to shot selection for all of our guys, right? And I think when we can play inside out and hit paint touches first, we're going to shoot it better. And so, whether it's, all those reps that these guys are putting in, an open shot is better than a guarded shot. And so I think that's what we try to give as a team. Marcus and other guys have to make that right call and find the right spots to take advantage. But he's put in the work, and we'll see.
Obviously, guys can improve on every aspect of the game. Is the jumper the kind of like the linchpin for Marcus in terms of if he gets that down to a point where it's really consistent?
Well, I think that's anybody on the wing right now. I mean, if you're a 1, 2, or 3, and that's an issue, that's an issue. You have a ceiling, maybe even a 4, right? In the way that people are playing, especially late in games. And so, I think the more that you can be extent of the floor, the better. Because I mean, it's the difference between a guy, you know, being very concerned about you on the weak side and being not concerned is an enormous defensive positioning advantage or disadvantage. So I think that's why you gotta, you know, everybody's got to be able to shoot the ball. And it doesn't have to be everybody shooting it like Ray Allen, but it has to be everybody's got to be a threat.
But if he gets his jumper going, then you know he'll start beating closeouts and getting to
That's
the
the
basket,
way it works. Yeah, because then guys are tighter to you, they're running at you, all that stuff. That's how it all fits together. That's the, you know, that's why, you know, again, you go into some games so consumed with running certain guys off the line because you're scared if they catch it with any space. That's a really highly efficient shot.
I know you don't play the traditional positions, but last night we saw Al guarding the smaller big a lot in the scrimmage. Is that going to be an adjustment for him? Is there?
So that's just when he plays with Amir. One of those guys will guard a smaller big. One of them will guard, you know, traditional five. It'll probably go night to night, matchup to matchup, but there will be a lot of minutes when those guys aren't playing together too.
Coach, from a scrimmage standpoint, do you guys ever go longer than 16 or 20 minutes at any point?
Not at this time of the year.
In the middle of the year, though, you're saying? Or?
I guess no. Games are longer. But I mean, you know, this is the first 5 days of training camp. We're 7 practices in after today. You know, this is a lot on their bodies, and you know, you have to be conscious of pacing correctly too. Thanks.